This episode is brought to you by Ursa Minor Outfitters. Folks, I'm absolutely in love with my loon mug. It's handmade, it's an absolute piece of art. Whether it's at the office or at the house, people keep asking to check it out. If you're not a loon fan, they also have other beautiful mugs for wildlife fans of moose, bears, and eagles. They specialize in products highlighting the outdoors and local pride through quality design by local artists. They've even started expanding into items beyond mugs, like apparel, dog accessories, and soon candles and more. They also try to partner and highlight other small businesses, and in some cases, forego profits in lieu of charitable giving to help their community, such as the dog rescue. So check them out, UrsaMinorOutfitters.com, and enter promo code HikesMikes10 at checkout to receive 10% off your order. And for our four-legged hiking partners, they also have a portable silicone dog bowl and also a sweet over-the-collar dog bandana. Go check them out, UrsaMinorOutfitters.com, and don't forget to enter promo code HikesMikes10 at checkout to receive 10% off your order. Welcome, everyone, to the Hikes and Mikes podcast. I'm your host, Ivan, and together we'll embark on a weekly journey connecting with extraordinary hikers from all corners of the U.S. and beyond. Throughout these summer months, we've had the privilege of conversing with some remarkable individuals. Their experiences and adventures will leave you yearning to hit the trails. We have another fun episode this week as we visit two amazing women from Atlanta, Georgia. Sawanda and Magalie share with us their personal hiking experiences, as well as their amazing group, Soul Sistas Hike Too. You can follow them on Instagram at Soul Sistas Hike Too. We speak with them about their favorite hikes in and around Georgia, the origin story behind Soul Sistas Hike Too, and we also learn about how they're incorporating mindfulness to both their individual and group hikes. Without further ado, let's jump into this episode with our guests, Sawanda and Magalie. Welcome, everyone, to the latest episode of the Hikes and Mikes podcast. I have some really incredible guests with me today that are going to be sharing about their amazing group that they started down in Georgia, Soul Sistas Hike Too, and it's Sawanda and Magalie. They're going to be talking about their amazing group, the local trails that they've been able to take group members on, and a little bit about what they're doing with the outdoors and mindfulness. Thank you so much for both of you for joining us on the podcast. We always like to start off by asking our guests to share a little bit about themselves and how they got started hiking.
My name is Sawanda. I am by way of, I have to say New York first, Ivan. If I don't, my family will kill me. So by way of New York, by way of South Carolina, and then by way of Georgia. I am a Southern girl. Absolutely. I have been hiking since 2020. Before 2020, I was going to what we have here is Kennesaw Mountain. And here in Kennesaw Mountain, I was just doing just the pave, going up the incline for exercising purposes. It was nothing I didn't know mindful anything. I put my headphones on and I'm just going up the hill. No problem. But in 2020, one of my sister friends, really best sister, she asked me for my birthday, which was July 11th, 2020. She said, well, since everything is closed, everything is shut down, why don't we go hiking? And I'm like, okay, let's go. And she took me to, it's called Amiacacola. Am I saying it right? Amiacacola. I'm probably saying it wrong. I've been trying to say it forever, but it's Amiacacola Falls. And that is out in Dawsonville, Georgia, which is about an hour or so away. And those are where the waterfalls are. It's a big waterfall, beautiful waterfall. It was my first time there, and I fell in love. We went in the morning. Here in Georgia, it's hot. So you have to start your trails and your hikes like early in the morning. So we started going up. There's like 1,000,001 stairs to go to this waterfall, but it was so worth it. And those were the best 2-3 hours that I had, not knowing I didn't have any hiking gear, not even the hiking shoes. I know I was wearing Chucks. I know I was. Crazy, but I didn't know, right? So that really sparked a passion, a love for outdoors. it really sparked the core value that I have, which is adventure. And so I then started spreading the joy about hiking. And here comes my soul sister, Magalie, who I invited one day, and she will tell you her story.
Hey, y'all. I am Maggie, and it could be Magalie, and it could be Magalie, because I am Haitian. I am from Brooklyn, New York, the birthplace of America. And I'm a person that does all things creative. So you can find me, whether it's for music, it's for art, it's for fiber arts. These are the things that I love. Hiking, I never saw it. Like, to be honest, I never saw it because that's just not a thing that we did in Brooklyn at all, unless you're hiking to school or hiking to work or something, but there were no trees involved and no grass. One day, it was in 2021, and it was my birthday, and someone, who is on this chat as well, Sawanda, said, well, we got choices for your birthday. So now, mind you, 2021, we're not so far from the pandemic, right? Like, we're probably right in it. And she said, we could try to go somewhere, or how about hiking? And so I'm like, wait a minute, does she know where I'm from? Because I was only maybe 3 years into Georgia, and I feel like 1.5 were stolen from me. So I was like, okay, I guess. And I was kind of excited about it, which the weird part is, right, is that I had hiking shoes in my wardrobe. But of course, if you know any other New Yorker, you know that's just for fashion, right? It's not really for utility. Drove a Subaru too. So I had all the elements and have a membership to REI. I had all these elements of hiking, but I've never gone hiking. So we actually did it, and it was on a paved trail, but just the views, just everything. It was like such a reminder how small and big at the same time we we really are. And I was just like, wow. And this is me. So can we do it next week? And then after that, it was hook, line, and sinker. And you have gotten this rose from concrete out in nature. And that's all she wrote. So
I will say, so as an adult, I finally went back to New York last year. And because of the price of Ubers and Lyfts, you guys probably already know this, like it's easier to just walk around and take public
so
transportation. But
much
I
easier.
didn't realize how many steps I could get in
Yeah.
just getting to and from. I, I think I put like a good 25,000 steps on a regular basis the couple days that I was there. And I was like, this is like urban hiking exploration because
Right.
yeah, there's some trails where I'll hit 20,000 steps if it's like 4 or 5 miles, but in New
Wow.
York it was easily 25 every single day. Same thing. I was trying to wear fashionable shoes, and those weren't it.
But
You
that,
learn fast.
you
Yeah.
learn fast, yes. But the fun part is I had to walk him down though. Like the
Right.
Yeah.
walk, I was ready for the walk, but it's all the other things.
Now, I'm really curious because Georgia has really come on my radar over the last year. Our mutual friends, the Black Hiking Club, really put me on to some of the beautiful trails that you guys have in and around the state. And how would you guys describe the hiking scene in and around your local trails?
Very, of course, scenic, lush
Yes.
trees. A lot of people say, oh my God, like you all have like the best greenery. Like it's just lush trees, bodies of water. I mean, you're going to find it
Mhm.
in creeks, rivers,
Right.
streams, waterfalls, lakes. It's grassy, woodsy, beautiful flowers. It's just amazing. It really is.
I will say that there are trails for like almost everyone, right? Easy,
Mhm.
moderate, advanced. Like you can pretty much get all of that in any kind of pace of a trail that you want. And
Mhm.
that's the part that I really like because, yes, I did start out easy. then intermediate, then advanced. But it guarantees all those things Sawanda was talking about. It guarantees them at each level. And so, and what you'll always find, which I also love to see, are like families from young to old, like, let's just get out there. So you'll find that too, which I love to see.
I feel like you live in a very underrated place when it comes to like waterfalls. I didn't realize like how spectacular some of these waterfalls are in and around GA. And you guys have some other incredible places. Like there's a bamboo forest that had came up on your feed.
Yes.
I'm curious in asking, what are some of your favorite trails in and around Georgia?
I gotta say, I do enjoy Vickery Creek, which is in Roswell, and it has a beautiful waterfall that, you know, when I used to live closer to there, when I first got here, I never went to, of course, but it's just beautiful. And of course, Sweetwater Creek Park. I feel like they made that park for me because it's literally like 10 to 15 minutes away. So those I will say, I've seen some beautiful ones. Amicalola, like she was talking about too. Those are beautiful. I mean, I'm just a fan of all of it. So
Yeah. And like you mentioned also, the bamboo forest. Oh my goodness. When we first went out there, like, didn't we get lost? I think we got lost,
listen, we
but it
don't
was
say lost. We
oh,
said
we don't.
we
Oh.
charted a new path. That's what
Okay.
that's
I'm sorry. The politically correct way of saying we got lost. Okay. Um, but it
I'm
was
going to
in a
steal
good
that.
way. Right,
Did
right,
you
right.
like
Take that. Because I just say lost. She's like, no, don't say that.
we charted a new path. It
It
just sounds
started a
like
new path. Right. Exactly. That took us like five. Okay. But no. No, but seriously, it we did go the first time, and when we got there, I mean, it was just amazing. And I think it wasn't even just the bamboo forest. It was really the journey to get there. Like that really was spectacular. So even this new trail that we that we found, um, we journeyed toward, but it was really magical. It was almost like, oh wow, like once we got to the bamboo forest, it really was like the adventure had already started, like it was already there. You know what I mean? Like everything that we wanted in a hike. It was exciting, it was scary, it was fun, it was,
it was
it was
kind
like,
of
are we
like
there yet? Are we there yet? No.
I feel like it was kind of like, you know how you see the movies and, like whether it's the fairy tale with the Hansel and Gretel, like going through the forest or whatever. And then to end up at such a beautiful, like the journey itself was beautiful too, because you like get to see the creeks and all the rocks and
Yes.
stuff like, and we were just laughing and joking like, if this is it, I'm glad to be with you. And
Yeah.
and, and then to
Exactly.
end up at our actual destination, which was the bamboo forest, and it was absolutely gorgeous, and you just can't beat it. You just can't beat it.
And we can't forget Kennesaw Mountain. We definitely cannot forget that.
Right.
That is also one of our beautiful places to go to, and also just the other trails that are around. Like we have like at least 8 to 10
Yeah,
trails within
it's quite
that
a
mountain.
bit. Like you'll see
Yeah.
a lot of people on the paved part, but then there's
Hmm.
also the more rugged, the more rustic areas, and then there's the little
Yeah.
mountain, the big mountain. So you could really just explore just that and still get a lot for what you want.
And I got to ask, how far is the bamboo forest from Atlanta?
Oh, that is Atlanta.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's within the city limits?
Yeah.
So it's within
Oh,
the city
man.
limits. Yep.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I'm going to
And
have to add
literally
that to
like,
the list.
yes, absolutely. It was just one of the gems we didn't even know about. Like literally working maybe 20 minutes away from there. I used to live close to there. It was just one of those gems that it was like, wait, this is here all this time?
One thing that I've experienced, I used to go to Decatur once a year for a conference, and it was always in the middle of summer. And I've never felt humidity until I visited Atlanta in the summer. that's a whole new experience. And, we're recording this at the tail end of July. And I wanted to ask, how's the summer hiking season been for each of you? And how is it hiking with humidity?
Brutal.
My skin looks great,
Brutal.
but it is brutal.
I don't know how other people do it when we literally try and get there between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We try and get there super early. And when we're leaving, it's maybe 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it is like the sun is just beating on us. Remember that time that we went, what was it? When she told me we were going 2 miles, we were really going 4. But
Wait a
we went
minute.
out there and it was like 11 o'clock when we finished. And people were coming in to hike. We were like, are you crazy?
I said immediately no.
Immediately no. Because the sun is, it is up, it is high, it is beaming, it is like,
It is
and the
literally
humidity.
It is
Oh,
engraving your name on your back, on the back of
yeah.
your neck. That is what
Yes,
that heat feels
absolutely.
like. And we still
Yeah.
go out, but we are, definite tools of the trade, stay hydrated, all of the make sure you have your sunscreen and bug spray and all of that. But what has really helped us was just heading out as early as we possibly could, because it's like a race against time. Like it
Yes.
really is.
Yes.
But again, my skin though, it looks great. It's a personal song.
Melanin is there. Absolutely. The melanin is glowing.
Yeah, yes. And if you could, and for all my natural haired girlies out there, you could see even in our feed, like the transition, like you could tell based on how hot it was and how much Maggie's hair shrunk. So that could kind of tell you where we are. So.
When does the humidity kind of go away? Is there a typical month like September or maybe a little earlier August?
Oh, August is just starting.
Oh.
We're looking
More
at
like
November.
more like October, November
Yeah.
Oh,
is when the humidity we'll kind of get a break.
like you said, that doesn't stop people, right?
No, it really doesn't. Like, especially those people that are out there 10, 11 o'clock. I'm like, and there's no way. If that's the time that I got up, yeah, I was probably going to get some breakfast because I was not.
We're not going outside walking or hiking. No.
And we've hiked in the snow too.
Yes, and that was with Black Hiking Club.
Yeah.
The Black Hiking, Black Hiking group. We sure did.
In Alabama. Yeah.
In Alabama. And it was snowing. That was so much fun.
I said, we must love this thing.
And that's not a natural occurrence. Like that's maybe once, twice a year where snow will come that far down south, or is that every year?
Yeah, that doesn't happen often.
I don't even think it called for it that day. It was just like, surprise.
Yeah, it's true. That is so true. It was cold, but we did not expect snow. We did not expect that. But it was fun.
Before we jump into the amazing group that both of you established, like many of us that hit the trails, it can be a rejuvenating and healing experience when we're out in nature. And I'm curious, how have each of you been able to connect with nature and the outdoors?
Well, the reconnection for me, well, I would say connection because you know where I'm from. So what was interesting as far as when I started hiking, even experiencing on my first hike, being right in the midst of the pandemic, what it allowed me to do was to pause for a second and really think about all the things that I wasn't thinking about, but I was experiencing. Like I really didn't want to think about it. However, my body was reacting to it. My mind was reacting to it. It was just an opportunity to say, okay, so I am really worried about this. I am really worried about that. And I will go so far saying, just being a woman and feeling as if you've got to take on and fix everything just allowed me to just really pause and just understand the piece in this backdrop that I had, that I am this small piece of a bigger thing, but then I am just as expansive as this bigger thing. I can really, dream as big as this. I can fix these, if not just fix, but I can just live. And it was really, I still can't quite find all of the words that I feel when I am out in nature, but it really just allows me to disconnect, to connect not just with nature, but with myself as well.
Yeah, I'd have to echo and say that as well, that, how have we been able to, or have I been able to connect with nature and the outdoors is basically what we do now, which is mindful hiking. We put mindful in there because, as Magalie said, this is the time where we get to slow down, where we get to focus on the present moment, like literally focusing on the sights, the sounds, the smells, the sensations, just being fully engaged in the present moment. And you do have some groups that literally they're either running straight to the goal or the mountain or the destination. They're like quickly just let's just run, let's just go and we're done. And then you do have some groups that, are like, I just want to get to the destination and then we stop. We are Soul Sistas Hike. We embody mindfulness because we're not just going to the destination. Sometimes we don't even have a destination.
Right.
We literally have a journey. And the journey is where we are mindfully, where we are literally reflecting or connecting or having intentional breathing, or even where we're appreciating what we're around, engulfed in. And we're taking pictures and we're taking selfies and we're doing all the things, but it's because we have during the week, we are so busy and we're so just, it's always just, we got to do. In hiking or in nature, we get to be, and we get to be reminded that we are human beings and not human doing. We're human beings.
I love that.
I love it too.
Before we started recording, you guys are almost at your 2-year anniversary with Soul Sistas Hike Too. And I'm always curious, especially with hiking groups, hearing the origin story and the story on how the group formed and how it came to be and how you decided to add that little twist with making it mindful hiking on your group hikes.
When we started hiking together, right, we would literally have an intention. And the intention would just be either we are either going to vent about the week because we also work together, right?
Yeah.
Or we are going to set some goals, or we are going to, just mindfully, not just also be in the present moment, but like I was saying, reflecting and connecting with our goals, our purpose, our mission, and not just the mission for the group, but the mission for our lives, right? And so we would do this and we would say,
we're going to leave it on the mountain.
we're going to leave it on the mountain.
Yes.
We're going to leave everything, like the venting,
Everything.
what we realized, what we were doing. And what we were doing, we literally were opening ourselves up to manifesting our goals and our dreams. Like we were saying them out loud, and we didn't
Yes.
know that power that we had to just say things out loud instead of keeping them inside, because a lot of us do that. Like we just
Yes.
walk around and we're just thinking in our heads and we're overthinking, or we're not sharing our dreams and our purposes and our goals. And every time we would leave or we would finish, we felt empowered, we felt
Mhm.
energized, we felt ready for the week. And we were like, how do we bottle this up and share
Yes.
it with other people? We have to do this. Like,
Yes.
because we're always about helping, or engaging or connecting a community. That's who we are. And we just had to share that. That's where this really came about, where we said, well, maybe we can, share, or maybe other people, other women. We first focused on women. And it was maybe women will want to share their week or share their experiences or share their dreams or their goals. And we found that a lot of women do. They
Mm-hmm.
want to, a lot of people, I won't even say women, but we really do want to connect and share the things that kind of light us up,
And
I
I
know I said a lot.
no, no, but you said everything that I felt. You said what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do want to share is that I remember on one of the hikes, group hikes we had, I did say that I found community in Sawanda. And
Mm.
that is something that we definitely wanted to share because it's one thing, like what she was saying earlier, to have these little secret conversations in your mind about what you want to do or what you don't like or what and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have a place to actually put it. There is power in hearing your own voice say the thing that you want, and then also having it witnessed in a community that supports you. And, these women that may or may not be going through the same things as you do, but can definitely relate to just what it is to be that human being who's also requested to do the human doing also. It was just amazing to be able to leave it on the mountain. And it was very subtle. I do have to mention that, right? The changes and the expansion were just very subtle. It wasn't as if, okay, Eureka, we got it. Let's conquer the next problem. It was really just like, oh, I had this thought and oh, this is what happened. And and it just provided this sense of clarity and empowerment that, you know what, it's not just a saying on a t-shirt. We actually do got this. Like we actually do and can have and experience this life that we really want. The backdrop made it all the more reason why we would say mindful hiking. Like the backdrop was the absolute perfect area to be able to leave it.
And both of you have been able to share some amazing group hikes that you've had over the last 2 years. Are there any hikes that kind of stand out as memorable or that you have a great memory attached to over the last 2 years?
We have so many, but no, I really would say, of course, the first one, because the first one is always, the memorable one. And then the recent one, the one that we had a couple weeks ago. And I think it was because, number one, the first one was we tried this for the first time, where we bottled it up and then we packaged it up and we invited or women to join us in these mindful hikes. And then the last one that we had, which was in the beginning of July, we started something new again. Like so it's the newness. It's like we started now where instead of us picking dates and saying, okay, this is when we're going to go hiking. Now, what we're doing is we are curating mindful hiking experiences for groups, for women who want to experience or escape, but not just experience a mindful hike, but to escape the busyness of work and life through mindful hiking. And so we are literally inviting corporate groups, small businesses, church ministries, sororities, like we're telling them, hey, when you are at your event or you're doing something in Atlanta, why not come and let us curate a mindful hiking experience for you? And we did that, a couple weeks ago, and it was so much
It
fun.
was amazing. It was
So
amazing.
much fun, Ivan. Oh my goodness. We laughed. We had mimosas. We had the meditation.
We do have mindful exercises.
Yes, we had so much fun and it was so memorable. And we said, this is it. Like, this is what we want to continue to do. We want to continue to show, of course, continue to show that this is our space as well as women of color. This is our space as well. And it's also where you can put your burdens down just for a second because you already know we're considered the strong Black woman and, the strong Black women. And you don't have to be strong for 2 hours. We can just be. And it's amazing. Those two are my favorite. What's yours, Magalie?
I have to say it was, those pretty much hit it for me. But I will have to add, okay, so mine are two opposite ends of the spectrum, right? So we do a hike with little girls from the Smile Project. And that's very close to my heart because with the same message that this beautiful land, these beautiful parks, they're for all of us. And the idea that we're building strength and resilience, but also freedom and the ability to frolic. Like we're starting with such, a young age, and which I absolutely love. And then this most recent hike, so we curated that for them with mindful exercises. And I loved it with the younger ones when one of the exercises that we did, like they chose a word, they had a word in the beginning and they would talk about how this would impact the rest of their week, which, you would think, okay, well, you're this age. What kind of problems do you have? But they do, right? And
Right.
what it's giving them is that ability to center themselves, to know that, again, the same things that some of us wait until 40 plus to know, that you have what it takes to do this, to reimagine your circumstance. You have the permission to rest, to think things differently, and that to me, because that's very near and dear to my heart, is that was one of my favorite. And the most recent hike, which is like almost like a fast forward, right, to the who are 40 and plus, we frolicked like we were 5 and 6. Like
Yes. Yes. Right.
we laughed, we talked, we did funny pictures, we did,
Pictures. Yes.
and yes, we did the meditation, and it was just, I felt the same in both, like just this freedom, to just be. And it definitely was a feeling like I was 5 and 6. Like, I mean,
Yes.
sometimes
Yes.
we say different, but not on that hike.
Not on that hike.
Not on
We
that.
had too much fun.
We
Too
had
much fun.
so much fun.
And
So
just like you were mentioning, Magalie and Ivan, we were, just the Smile Project with the younger girls. Can you imagine if we knew this,
it
like
was,
at 6, 5, 6, and
yes,
7, 8,
yes,
9? That we knew that not only was this our space, but we can rest in it. We can
yes.
we can mindfully, we can be present in it. We can enjoy the outdoors, the adventure. Like when I was their age, I did not see me. I did
No,
not see, any representation of me on a hike or in a camp
no,
or in
absolutely not.
anything.
Absolutely not.
So
We barely
to
saw it
see
outside of the hike.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because, of course, I know there's also pain in that too, being outside. I mean, let my mother tell it. She's like, I am never going outside. And, she was the era of picking cotton. She was in the era of, she's in the South. She's from South Carolina. So, she's out there and please plant flowers. Oh, please. No, she's not doing that. Like she's on the outside, but to really kind of flip that and to change the way that we see outside and for the babies, for the
For the
children,
babies, right.
for the babies. It's amazing. I love seeing babies and children out and
I
hiking.
absolutely love it
Love
because
it.
you're learning from that age not to be afraid of something, because that's the age where you're
Right.
afraid of anything, right? Like,
Right.
and then, as we grow older, of course, we pick up those fears and consequences and things like that. But
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
them, it's just, this is the thing that we do. This is part of the fabric of their childhood now. And I absolutely,
Yes.
I adore it.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad you both touched on those because those were the two that really grabbed my attention on your reels. Was one, the mimosas. I saw that you guys curated, but then the one with the Smile Project, because I'm all about getting the next generation outdoors and enjoying nature. Like you said, it's when they don't have all the other fears and they're fearless at that point, and to be able to get them to enjoy the outdoors at a young age, it's a beautiful thing. And how did that collaboration kind of come about with the Smile Project?
So I am, and a dear friend is a ambassador for the Smile Project. They're a 501c3. And I was looking for something to volunteer because I've always been interested in youth of that age. High school is actually my favorite. Nothing like a good sullen teenager and that believes they know it all. And college students so always want to be connected. So I became an ambassador for Smile Project, and what they center on is building community and fostering those type of relationships and the idea of self-identity. And they do that through counseling and a lot of activities. Like they'll have something for the holidays, they'll have something, but it's always to strengthen who they are. This particular activity was a segment they call Celebrating Girls of Color. So they do activities that foster their understanding of self and strengthen who they are. And they do mindful activities as well, in addition to our hikes. It's just a wonderful organization that will hold, father-daughter tea. Like there's just all the things that they do just to allow them to grow up in a way to let them know that they're not alone and that they do have community within themselves and with each other.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they heard we were doing this, and we were like, well, of course we'll do it. And they're just a joy because we do different activities with them too. And they are extremely responsive to it. And it's teaching them those things that, again, we waited. I won't say unfortunately, but we got to those tools and tricks and techniques 40 plus, but they're getting it at this age and can use it in their everyday. And I say, to be honest, I'm glad that exists because I don't know if I would have made it going to school and being a kid these days. Like, it's rough out there. It's really rough there. So what they're receiving is priceless, to be honest, at that age. So yes. So Hope Williams is, when she asked, we were excited.
Yeah, folks get a chance, go to their Instagram and look for that reel. All the kids had a big smile on their faces, and it just looked like a really great time with everybody enjoying the trails. Yeah, you guys are building a beautiful community there, and the different activities that you guys are doing, where it's a good balance. Because if anyone's gone to like a meditation class or a yoga class, it's very quiet. There's not much laughing until maybe after class or before class. But that's something that really comes through on your social media, is that it's a balance of the mindful hiking, but then you're also having a great time on the trails and amongst one another and building this wonderful community.
We appreciate that.
One thing that we've talked is, some people do solo hikes, and sometimes it's a little easier to do mindful hiking when you have somebody to be able to bounce off thoughts and ideas. But how would you recommend solo trekkers or solo hikers be able to practice mindful hiking on their own when they're on the trails?
I would start with setting an intention. That's the key to being mindful. Being mindful for anything, really, is to really set your intention in even reminding yourself that I'm in the present moment. If my mind wanders, in the past where I'm reflecting, or if the mind wanders in the future where I might be, worried about something or thinking about something in the future, let it be. It's okay. You know what I mean? That's part of the mindful process. So I would honestly say set an intention. Like, what do you want to happen? What do you want to do while you are out in nature? Do you want to run and get straight to the mountain or straight to your destination and then sit and have, meditation moments? Or do you want meditation and mindfulness while you're on the journey to your destination? Or do you just want to just put on your earbuds and, go listen to a podcast or listen to your music and it's a exercise moment where you have all of your gear to figure out how many steps you've gotten and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I mean, set your intention. What do you want? And how do you want your hike? How do you want your journey to be that day? That's the first thing I would say.
That came up for me too. When you look at even mindfulness in general, right? They say that about your work day or the beginning of your day, because we're just always just moving through. Like there are times when you get to work, you just know the route so much that you just, your brain was on autopilot and you went. When you stop and say, let me set this intention, you're really trying to figure out, is it connection that you're looking for? Is it just awareness? Is it just ease? Like you're calling it out so that nature can give it back to you. And there are other pieces like just stopping, again, you're climbing, you're getting to the destination, yet if you pause to just breathe and take it in, like take in this and forest bathe, right? Like just take it in and see, like, this is a whole thing. Like, this is a whole, like getting that almost like a hug from nature, just stopping for just a second. Because when we talk about breathing, we only recognize how we breathe when we can't, right? And so that can be a way so that, you can stop and pause for a minute. I'm a tree toucher. I touch trees to ground. So I think that's another way of like just recognizing my foot on this earth. It is really purposely slowing yourself down for that awareness. And you start out, like Sawanda says, with that intention of what you want today to be like. What do you want your experience to be like? And who asks us that on a regular? I know my boss don't ask me what do
Right?
I want my day to be like. Certainly don't ask me what you want my check to look like. No, kidding. But but it's like, so you're giving yourself permission to ask yourself, what is it that you want? What are we going for today? And so it's a beautiful thing when you've given yourself permission to do that.
I love that. Now, one thing I do want to do is give you guys flowers when it comes to the swag that you guys have developed. As someone who's actively trying to develop swag when it comes to the podcast over the last year, I got to say, I really love your Soul Sistas Hike Too tees that you've developed. Can you share a little bit about the design and the creation process behind it? And for listeners, how can they cop one if they're interested in getting one themselves?
I have to take this one because it was the creativity of my cousin, Ahmad Jamal. His company is Do That Incorporated Custom Apparel. And he literally, like, I think he saw like one of the posts that I was, we were starting a hiking group, and he just came up with the design, and he was like, hey, what about this? And it was like, wow, like, okay. And he was totally for it. Like, he was like, y'all need some custom designed shirts. And we were like, okay, we'll take it.
We'll
And
take it.
we really appreciate it. Abad Jamal is very creative in his apparel and his custom. And he literally, the ones that you see, if you see the glitter, the ones that have the glitter, like he custom designs each and every one of those. So it is not coming from like a manufacturer. It's coming from, other places. It's coming from like his studio, of his house, and he's amazing. He's really great. So if you do want a t-shirt, if you want the custom design, and then we also have, of course, the ones where it is the dark purple that is also it's designed, but you're not going to see the glitter. You're not going to see the glitter. But if you do want to purchase one, and if you would like to be a soul sister who hikes, definitely go to our Instagram page. You can go to Soul Sistas Hike Too and click on our bio, and you will see where you can purchase one.
It'll be right on our link tree.
Yes.
Well, these last questions are questions we like to ask all our guests, and they're about their hiking routines and pack lists. When it comes to either a summit routine or maybe a end of the hike routine? Is there something that each of you do on a regular basis? You know, for some of us, it's packing a favorite snack or drink. Another one is a moment of zen or maybe the favorite meal afterwards. Is there a regular customer routine that each of you do when you reach your destination or maybe when you make it back out?
I'd say a meditation and mimosas. So that
The
have
M&M.
been what was working so far.
Eminem.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. And I think just what we were saying earlier, we're always saying keep it on, like what we say and do, we just leave it right there on the
Yes.
trail. Like we leave it there. And so that has been something that we have just incorporated where it's like, listen, this is the time where we get to open up. And when we end the hike, we're closing it with, like Magalie said, either meditation, and now mimosas, or we are literally saying, what you have taken, this is in hopes of having one of those amazing weeks. Having that really great week where you have been able to be, because now you're about to get into the doing again. Having reminders. We try and give them reminders of the being that they are within the mindful hiking. So we make sure they have something that they can take, whether it's an affirmation, whether it's a word, whether it's a question, whether it's something that is reminding them of their hike, of their mindfulness, of their present moment during the week. So that's what we do. That's kind of our routine now. We just kind of course, stretch and hug. We got to give hugs. We do that. We give hugs. We're like, all right, we're sweaty, but that's okay. Everybody's sweaty. It's all good.
You're so sweaty
Give me a
last
hug.
time.
It's okay. That's right.
Because that's also another, it's like it seals the deal, right? Like
Yes.
we,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's our oath. Like this is what we did and this is how we close. And I'm wishing you well for the rest of the week.
That's right.
I love it. Now, this next one is about your guys' pack list. When it comes to your hiking pack list, is there a special item that kind of falls out of the essentials list, but that you like to carry on a regular basis?
Besides Magalie's professional camera, because she is a professional photographer, you'll sometimes see it. You're not going to see it all the time, but
Well,
you
not
do
all the time.
sometimes see that. Yes, yes. And then our pepper spray. You're going to see that too.
You're going to see the
You,
pepper spray. But what you will see is you will see some hoop earrings.
hoop earrings. We got to have hoop earrings, Ivan. I'm
Because we
sorry.
need big hoop
Listen.
energy on the trails.
And lip gloss.
And lip gloss. Because we got to
You got
stay
to have lip
ready.
gloss. And big hoop earrings.
Yes.
We just, I mean, that is just something we take with us.
Yes.
Like every time. You will
It
see
is that.
if you go back, you'll see. I'm pretty sure all of the reels, if not, maybe one or two might not have one, but you're gonna see us with big hoop earrings.
Yeah, because I
I
think there
love
was
that.
one where I wore these like little small ones, and I'm like, "Who is this?" I didn't even feel energized for this hike. Hold on, let me get my hoops on. Now I'm ready.
That's it. That's our superpower.
That's the super.
That might,
That's it. Now people know. Like
That's right. That's right.
I love those. Now, we're a little over halfway through 2024, and for each of you, is there any personal hiking goals that you have for the remainder of the year? And then also for the group, is there any goals that you'd like to see, not just in 2024, but beyond 2024?
I said, traveling to other places for
Yep.
hikes to find
Yep.
some nice hike
Yep.
trails.
Absolutely. We're trying to, Ivan, you said Washington. We're coming out there.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
it's so gorgeous.
Hit me up.
I do watch Virgin
Sedona.
River, so I do know what the the Pacific Northwest has going for it. So
That would be so cool. I think that would be so cool to really go even like, cross country and really see, I love seeing the pictures of everyone's like hikes that are, not from Georgia and or not from the Southeast. I love seeing the West Coast. I love seeing the Southwest. I love seeing the Northwest. Like I love seeing that. And I was like, I would love to go there. And I have, relatives that are in Africa. And I would love to go to definitely visit some trails, hiking trails, nature trails out there. So that's on the list as
yeah,
well, desired list. So.
definitely. I think it becomes more than just a hobby. Like for example, I do knit and crochet. I'm into the fiber arts, and one of the things we always did whenever we're in another state is go find a knitting shop, right? And so now with this, it's like, what does Tennessee have? What does Hawaii have? What is, like,
Mhm,
so
mhm,
it's just a bug. Like, and then the same things that we would have said for a beginner hiker, right? Like, how do you get started? Is the same way how we get started in another state, finding a community out there or in another country, because the world is just that small now. So I want to
mhm.
see it all. You down, Sawanda?
Yeah, I'm down. Let's go. We're going to see. We're going to
Ivy,
see
we
Ivan
got you too.
and his group. We're going to Ivan and his group.
Yes. Yes.
Please do. That would be amazing. Now, how about for the group? Is there any goals for the remainder of the year?
Oh gosh,
Yes.
yes. We
Yes. Yes.
we're
Yes.
so excited. I know by the time this airs, we will have our second curated mindful hiking experience. That was
This,
August 25th.
Your
Uh-huh.
Sunday, August 25th. Yes.
Yes. And so we're excited about that. And we want to do more of that. We really are looking at trying to at least get maybe three more group before we head on into 2025. But in 2024, we definitely want to kind of master this a little bit, just kind of add more things to, our repertoire and just really show women, just really get, especially those that are working in corporate small businesses, things like that. We really want to get the word out that just for one moment you can escape this busyness, of life and work. So we definitely want to at least have those experiences for those women. And then of course we're looking at beyond, retreats, having retreats and just even going and traveling, just getting out of Georgia and curating mindful hiking experiences to those who are even out of state.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the year brings, not just for the group, but for both of you personally. And I'm excited to see what the next series of curated group hikes come about, because you guys started off with a bang. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what the rest of the year has to offer. Now, we're at the tail end of the podcast, and we always like to finish off the podcast with a series of this or that questions. And I do love it when I have multiple guests on at the same time, because I feel like sometimes the guests learn a little bit about the other guests that they didn't know about when it comes to hiking related topics. But I'm just going to give you two hiking related topics, and each of you choose which one you personally identify with or prefer. So the first one is,
Okay.
when it comes to hikes, do you prefer a steep incline or a steep decline?
Incline.
Incline. Really? I thought you would be
Yeah.
the incline.
Uh-uh.
Okay.
I would do the incline. Yeah, I would do the incline.
Let me write this down. Okay.
No,
incline.
don't write it down though, because
Incline.
Ivan didn't have neither, but I had to pick. So okay, Ivan didn't say neither.
And the next one, and this is a tough one, waterfalls or summits?
Waterfalls.
Okay.
Ooh, look, this is like the newlywed game. Look at that.
I like that.
I know my twins.
Now, this next one is about trail systems, but do you prefer a trail with switchbacks or would you rather go straight up?
Switchbacks.
Switchback.
At the same
Look at
time, I
that.
love it.
Hey, they
Oh,
don't call us twins for nothing. Okay.
Absolutely.
They don't call us twins for nothing.
now, this next one is the most controversial one out of them all, but do you guys use trek poles or do you prefer to be freehand?
I would say because I don't have any, I have to be freehand right now, but I would prefer trek poles, to be honest.
Yeah, I have both free hands and trek poles. And I do like the trek poles. It makes me feel like, I don't know, in my skin. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing things. So yeah, I like it. I like the trek pole.
And this next one's about your footwear. Do you prefer the traditional hiking boots or trail runners or sneakers?
Oh, boots all the way.
Okay. So in my mind, right, like as a youth, many moons ago, I did cross country and I see the trail runners and I said, I could be you, you could be me. But alas, it's the hiking boots. So, because I'm not living that life.
Now, this next one's another trail system question. Do you prefer a loop trail or an out and back trail?
Oh, loop trail all the way. I'm not going back.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
I'm not going back. Not going back. Loop trail.
Listen, this I knew. This I absolutely knew. She would be, let us go around. I'm not going back. I'm
not going back. We just have to figure it out. Keep going. Forward. Keep going. Nope.
This is how we chart a new path. We keep going.
Full circle right there. No.
That's it. So is that why we get lost? Is that, I mean,
and that is why we chart.
That is why we chart new trails.
Now, this next one is about your water carrying system. Do you prefer carrying a traditional water bottle like a Hydro Flask, Stanley Cup, or a Nalgene? Or do you like the hydration bladders or hydration packs that you put in a backpack like a Camelback?
I would love to try those. I've never tried those before.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we haven't tried them. So right now we are traditional water bottles. But if you think about it, Ivan, they make us stop. And since we already like to stop, and smell the roses, literally, water bottles works for us. But I would try it. I would definitely want to try the Camelback. Absolutely.
Now, these next two are the hardest ones, in my opinion, but sunset hikes or sunrise hikes?
We've never tried sunset hikes.
Yeah. But I do like sunrise, though. But maybe because I haven't tried the sunset ones. But I think we're supposed to try like an evening hike.
But sunrise.
Sunrise.
And then this next one's another tough one. Spring wildflowers or fall colors?
Fall colors.
Fall colors. Hands down. Fall colors.
Oh, gosh.
That's it.
Listen, the beauty of these trees, Ivan. Oh my gosh!
I mean, you definitely have contenders, but to see it down here is absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Anywhere really, but fall is amazing.
Yeah.
And then the last one is: do you prefer long and gradual hikes or short and steep hikes?
Where is the neither? Ivan.
Long and I'm answering for both of us. Long and gradual hikes. Long.
I does not have neither, but I would choose long gradual hikes as well.
Okay,
I would too.
That is what I take her on.
Yes, yes.
There is nothing short about what we do
at all, unless we're with a group. Now we have to say that.
Right.
Groups are maybe between, depend on who they are, and they're beginners. We start off with like 2 miles, so yeah. But for us, long gradual hikes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that was
true.
for the this or that questions. For folks that haven't had a chance to follow the group's journey, where can they find you on social media and online? And how can they sign up for a group hike?
So, absolutely, we'd love to have you. You can join us and follow us on Instagram, which is Soul Sistas Hike Too. And we do have a Facebook group as well, Soul Sistas Hike Too. But you can really, or you can see us mostly on Instagram. And you can also go into our bio and you can see, join our Halo as well.
And we'll be sure to share those in the episode show notes so people can check them out. It has been an absolute blast talking to you both on this podcast, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the year has to offer. But thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you, Ivan. It's been
Fabulous.
awesome. Yes, we had so much fun with you. Thank you.
Yes. It was fabulous. It was amazing. I loved it.
And that brings us to the end of this episode alongside Sawanda and Magalie. We extend our heartfelt thanks to them for coming on the podcast. Make sure to follow their group adventures on Instagram at Soul Sistas Hike Too. And don't forget to check out the episode show notes for more. We have an incredible lineup of episodes planned throughout the summer months, and we can't wait to share them with you. New episodes will be dropping every Monday with occasional bonus episodes on Fridays. To ensure you never miss out on those thrilling tales, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to join our vibrant community on Instagram at Hikes and Mics. We'll be sharing episode visuals, my own personal hiking content, and so much more. Let's stay connected and continue to inspire each other on this remarkable journey. As we bid farewell, remember to tread those happy trails, embrace the great outdoors, and keep the spirit of adventure alive. Until next time, my fellow explorers, happy hiking. This episode's music was created by Ketsa. Follow him on Instagram at Ketsa Music. Hey everyone, hope you've all been enjoying the trails this summer. I gotta be honest, leading group hikes is a blast, but capturing all the amazing memories can be a challenge. That's where our new podcast sponsor, the Cameo Journal, comes in. This thing's built for travelers and hikers by fellow adventurers. It's a pocket-sized rugged journal designed for you to collect up to 100 entries from all your trail mates, your life guests, and anyone else you meet along the way. Basically, it can be a guest book for your travels and an awesome keepsake. Logan over at the Cameo Journal is a backpacker himself and put all his love for travel into the design. So if you're looking to level up your hiking adventures, head over to thecameojournal.com to grab one not just for yourself, but for your crew too.